Yo, it's your boy Henji.
What's good? It's Tweez.
We back and we pop it out here with Check Up One on One. Tweez, what's happening, my boy?
Not too much. I'm ready to dive into the docket.
Let's dive. Let's jump right to it, Tweez, man. Hey, this one's gonna catch you by surprise, but we gotta talk about this one.
What's that?
Last week, Ime Udoka, LeBron James.
Uh-oh.
They got into it on the sideline. Did I might take it too far by calling LeBron James or saying that he was bitching?
No, I think he kept it in verb fashion.
Okay.
There's a big difference between the noun bitch,
Okay.
all right, and the verb bitching.
Okay.
There's a clear distinct. He was distinct, and he repeated the distinction.
Respect. Let me tell you this. I'm the competitor sort there. So I mean, you throw this word around, you looking for a little bit of a tussle. But I'm Udoka, LeBron James. There's some history. They played against each other. They competed against each other there. I mean, LeBron James, of course, whooped that ass on the court. But just as a competitor, there's something there. And Ime was tired of it. He tired of the complaining.
It's been a build-up
He tired of the agendas.
for years.
Just play. Just hoop, Bron. Just hoop, man. I mean, that's where I'm at with it.
It's like the guy you see at the rec. You see him. You used to play with him 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you come in, and before you get on the court, he's making those same bogus calls. And he just got fed up. He had something to say.
That's it. I already know that same guy. And you already know before he comes in the gym, like he's gonna make that one call that's gonna destroy the run. He's going to call travel on somebody that wasn't a travel
with no advantage. That's my thing too. No advantage.
No advantage travel call.
No
that guy.
Game.
Oh yeah, hate that guy, dog. But let's go ahead. Let's jump right to it, my boy. Hey man, we get into the thick of it in the NFL. I mean, you see what's happening. I mean, the NFC is tight. AFC is tight. Let's get right to these NFL MVP candidates.
Talk to me, man.
I got 4.
Tell me what you think, man.
At 4.
Okay.
I got Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is leading the 9-3 Cowboys. Dak Prescott is 5th in passing yards with 3,234. Dak Prescott is 2nd in passing touchdowns with 24. Dak Prescott is projected to throw 37 TDs this year with only 9 picks. 2nd in QBR, 75.4. 2nd in rating, 108. 4th in completion percentage, 70.1. Dak Prescott is having a career season, really playing some of the best ball he's ever played in his career. Dak, number 4.
So my thing is that I hear you about Dak
Already.
right? But I just
can't
don't.
even finish the rest of my list.
Oh, you want to finish the list?
I mean, already an objection. Okay, go ahead.
Look, it's just that Dak, man. I don't know how you trust him. I'll get back to it after you finish, but I just don't know how you trust him.
I mean, trust him. I get it. All you can do is play the guys on your schedule.
Okay.
And granted, they got smoked early in the season by the Niners. They came back. They lost to the Eagles by 5. But Dak put 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. He balled out. I mean, Dak is doing what he got to do. And mind you, was Dak have 6 picks this season? He threw 3 in the game against San Francisco. So, I mean, Dak's doing what he's got to do. At number 3, we got CMC, Christian McCaffrey. He's on pace for 2,000 all-purpose yards. 1st in rushing with 1,032 yards. 2nd, in rushing touchdowns with 12. 5 receiving, that's 17 total touchdowns. On pace to have, again, 26 total touchdowns. 429 receiving yards. That's Christian McCaffrey at number 3. CMC is that dude. If you don't know it, get to know it. I believe he had the record of 15 straight games with a touchdown. I mean, he was just doing the damn thing.
Almost got in there, too, that last game, too. Almost.
Number 2. I mean, this guy's just first in everything. Receiving categories. The Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. He's on pace to be the first receiver in history to get 2,000 receiving yards. Right now, he has 1,481 yards. First, 12 touchdowns. First, 123 yards per game. First, 66 first downs. First, 93 receptions, 66 first downs. 2/3 of his catches were moving the chains.
Marching.
They are very familiar with that gesture when Tyreek Hill catches the ball
A lot of elbow snapping
in Miami. And on top of it, he does it all. 600 of his 400 yards is yak yards.
Ooh.
So he can just get it. You've seen him. Get it and go. Or he get it, he's behind the defense, and he just does the rest. Number 1, Brock Purdy. Number 1. Mr. Irrelevant has really climbed out from the bottom. Mr. Irrelevant is a rose in the concrete. Mr. Irrelevant, keep doing what you've been doing, because they're going to say you're one thing, but the statistics and the gameplay says otherwise. Brock Purdy, 4th in passing TDs, 23. 3,185 yards passing, 7th. 70.2 completion percentage in the league. First, QBR, 75.6. First, rating, 116.1. He is rating by, he's taking the lead by 8 points. That is also first. On pace to throw for 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns. And they call you a game manager? Game managers don't throw for 33 touchdowns. Game managers don't throw for 4,500 yards. That's not a game manager. That is a baller. Bonafide baller. And then on top of it, he's led his team to the biggest wins of the season. Week 5 against Dallas was a stomping. Just recently against Philly. Stomped them. And everyone's going to say, well, what about the other guy? He outperformed them. He's outperforming almost everybody. Brock Purdy right now, after these 13 weeks, is the number 1 spot NFL MVP by checkup one-on-one.
All right. I like it. I got some questions to ask you.
Let's talk about it.
This list. All right. I guess we'll go 4-3-2-1. Mm-hmm. As for Dak, I guess I got trust issues with Dallas quarterbacks. They're under the microscope. When they're good, they look good. When they're average, they look good. When they're bad, they look bad.
Yeah.
Right. That kind of reminds me of Tony Romo in some ways. And that stats are always going to look amazing.
Yeah.
Solid player, does his thing every week. Except for those big games. I feel for him those big games. Like you said, it was early in the season, San Francisco, shellacking. Right now, he's got a great quarterback rating, but his highest quarterback rating, the biggest game, it was against us.
All you can do is play the games on your schedule. That's it.
And
you can't say every week you're playing the Dolphins. You can't say every week you're playing the Bills, the Ravens. All you can do is play the games on your schedule. And when the games show up on Sunday, Dak Prescott has been there almost every game this season, but the one I'd say.
So I guess this leads me perfectly into what I only question I got for him is that he's got the Eagles coming up.
Yeah.
The Bills coming up, as you speak.
Yeah.
The Dolphins coming up.
And
then the Lions, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think he'll be
right on time.
Tested. If he can get these W's, then I see him either moving up on this list.
Right on time. Right? Just give us...
Or falling all the way off.
Get 2 to 3 of them.
So that's what he's got to do to
2 to 3 of them
to maintain his position on this list.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving right along. CMC was it? Is he 3?
CMC
3. Okay. Just a simple question. I think he's amazing. I think he's done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you think he's gonna fare knowing this is generally a quarterback's award?
I mean, you do know it's a quarterback's award, but there's things you just got to just understand. In 2000, similar type of statistics, Marshall Faulk ran for 1,300 yards, had 830 receiving yards, 28 total touchdowns. He was the MVP. Number one vote getter by a landslide. So, I mean, like I said, we're in a very similar situation. But I feel like, again, during that time, Marshall Faulk, there wasn't no Tyreek Hill having a season like Tyreek. Yeah, you know what I mean? But again, I'm just saying, CMC is definitely in the race just because we've seen these type of seasons happen. And again, I think running back, it's a big time touchdown thing. And he up there.
Gotcha. I think there's, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I think there's also got to be like a big play thing, like a big memorable moments thing from the NFL players to be the MVP. I think that he's got those stuff.
Oh, plenty.
Then, so going to Tyreek, is I guess the same question. It's a quarterback's award. Tua's having an amazing season. What does he have to do in these last couple games of the season to either shoot all the way to the top or at least maintain his position?
We've seen greats. We've seen Jerry Rice. We've seen Randy Moss. Ain't none of them go for 2,000.
Never.
We've seen Calvin Johnson, who holds the record. He ain't go for 2,000. Tyreek, if he just keeps doing 100 yards a game, 2,000. This is record breaking right now. We ain't never seen it.
So would you liken it to like the Russell Westbrook
triple doubles, right down that alley.
So
right down that alley.
That's what he's got to do to solidify.
Right down that alley. Right up the James Harden scoring 37. It's like, oh, we just never. It's very rare.
It's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's an undeniable thing. I can get that. Okay, so that's what he's got to do. He's got to continue this undeniable play.
Yeah.
And get this 2,000 yards, and he's got it. He's got a chance, or a heavy chance. Okay, so then moving right to Brock.
All right. Mr. Irrelevant.
So two things there. That tag of Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to really shake that off, and it becomes a little bit difficult when he didn't have all the weapons and the firepower.
Yeah.
They went on a 3-game skid, right? That plus the fact that how does he overcome the fact that he does have the Marshall Faulk? I remember earlier I had likened them to that turf offense. They got it. How does he overcome the fact that his team is that good and CMC is just right there?
If you're a quarterback, you can't throw the bums. I mean, if you're a quarterback, and you're the MVP candidate, you probably have an All-Pro caliber receiver. You probably have a Pro Bowl caliber running back. You know what I'm saying? Or a combination of 2 Pro Bowl caliber receivers. And he delivers to them. It's not like he's a quarterback that's messing up. It's not like he's Zach Wilson. He's doing what the quarterback's supposed to do.
So what does he have to do to sew this up?
He just has to keep showing that he's not a game manager. He has to keep being a playmaker, and that's exactly what he's doing. People are still treating Brock Purdy as if he's doing the most elementary things. But again, as I said, the numbers are showing. There's nothing elementary here. This is going to be a 4,000-yard passer in his first full season as an NFL quarterback. That is impressive. MVP, number 1 spot.
I love it.
All right, man. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to take a turn to, Tweez? Talk to me, dog.
2 things. Sidebar. Before we turn to what I would want to get to, got a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want, if you're picking your team, do you want Randy Moss, prime Randy Moss, or Turner? What do you want?
Do I want prime Randy Moss or do I want Tyreek Hill? I'm taking Randy.
Okay, talk to me. Give me the why.
I'm taking Randy. I mean, I know we've seen Tyreek Hill do it, but do y'all remember Thanksgiving Day? 3 catches, 163, 3 tuds. Do you remember him sitting on the sideline, biting into the turkey before the game was over? Randy? Do you remember Randy scoring a touchdown in Lambeau, mooning the crowd, pulling his pants down, acting like he's pulling his pants down? Randy? I love Tyreek Hill. And again, Tyreek Hill is complete. But we're not there yet. Tyreek ain't done. We've seen Randy do it many different places, just as we've seen Tyreek do it. But Randy is still, that's Randy Moss. And at the end of the day, you got Mossed. That's still, I mean, it's transitioning now to the head top,
but
to the OBJ,
impact.
but
cultural impact.
Originally and still running is you got Moss. So I'm taking Moss. Cheetah, you are slow. I mean, not even slow. You are quickly climbing up them charts. I mean, as like an all-time favorite and really an all-time great, because that skill set is one that we just haven't seen at the combination of just speed, power, quickness, agility, athleticism, bounce. I mean, he got it all.
Okay, I get it. All right, moving right into. Let's get to some basketball and talk about this Warriors team. This Warriors team. Are you buying or selling stock on the Warriors being a playoff team this year?
I want it all.
Oh, you want it?
Yeah. Are you the Warriors missing the playoffs? The Warriors missing? Absolutely not. Warriors right now, 10-11. 11 seed. Fine. And there's some things that are just not going well right now. Clay is playing the worst basketball of his career, shooting the worst in his career through the first quarter of the season. Wiggins is playing the worst basketball of his career through the first quarter of the season. So if we're thinking that this trend's going to stay, then maybe not. But even through this worst run of the season, they're still one game below 500. Also, in this terrible time, the Warriors have a bad habit, being up in the third quarter and losing the game. In the month of November alone, against the Kings on November 28th, up in the third, lost. On November 18th, OKC up in the third, lost. The same week against Minnesota, on the 14th, up in the third, lost.
Falling apart.
Nuggets on the 8th, up after the third, lost. Most recently, the Clippers, up after the third, lost. If they can just shake up out of this, use the championship pedigree, use the championship culture, wake up to make the playoffs. Then you got Draymond, who's missed the 5 games. That's in the middle of their 6-game losing streak. Just fast, they won 5, they lost 6. Don't you worry. I'm ready to put the whole kit and caboodle in that thing. All right? Because Warriors, they'll be in the playoffs. Don't you worry.
So what say you to the idea and concept that I think this is just another sign of a team that is just not fully equipped to compete.
Okay.
Last year, we watched this Warriors team. They just made up this trend, this thing that we couldn't really understand. It didn't really add up. They just couldn't win road games, right? Right? This year is something different. Like you said, it starts, these lead losses, they're tied to something else really tight. They don't take care of the basketball.
They turn it over.
And I don't think that shooting slumps, being fixed and dropped are going to change that. I think that is what the problem is with the Warriors. I think that they are turnover prone, and the only person that takes away from that turnover prone ability makes them liable on defense.
Okay.
It's Chris Paul.
Okay.
Right? So you need him to kind of sturdy up the offense and make sure they're under control. But at the same time, there's something that they lose. That defensive tenacity that they usually have, that the overpowering that they used to have on the wing in defense. Not necessarily from the players, but the unit. And a lot of that has to do with Clay not being the guy that he used to be, right?
Let me tell you this. They'll go right back to the formula they know if they have to come down to it.
Okay.
Put the ball in Steph's hands. High screen and roll. Everybody get the hell out the way and watch Steph boogie.
So basically your stock is on Steph.
Steph is still Steph. And like I said, with the trash that's happening around, they're still one game below 500. All it takes is Steph just clicking one more level of Steph. and they go ahead and win another 6.
So who are they moving out? Who are they getting out of that? Because it's really really rough and tough over there.
If we're talking about playing game, Houston, y'all can slide on down. Pelicans, love y'all, but you know what I mean. It looks good at times, but you know what I mean. There's also it's like a little shaky. Y'all can slide on down. So I mean, if we're talking about playing that, you can put everything on that one. Don't save a buck.
So all right, so here we go. So are you saying everything in on them making the play-in, or everything in on them? Making
I'm saying
the playoffs?
if you put everything in the playoffs as well, but if you are a little hesitant, just want to save a couple dollars, got a bill to pay, want to be smart about it, put it on the play, put it on the play, put a little less on a playoff. You still get a good return.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying here. Because again, all they gotta let do is Steph just be Steph. If he does that, you've seen the formula. Put on the back, he'll carry him. Now, granted,
no moves required.
he don't need. It's just Steph. Now, granted, maybe they may need some moves because again, I mean, no one wants to say it. No one wants to talk about it. Losing Poole hurts. Losing Poole was a huge loss. That was a big scoring punch for them. That was a matchup issue for them. While they had their other guys, you know what I'm saying, like just clogging things up while Poole was able to do a Poole against weaker defenders. They are missing that. But nonetheless, they were able to find ways to get that done as they built Poole up. So, don't you worry. Steph, gonna be Steph. Clay, when Clay goes for 40, I don't want anyone coming back and be like, no. Clay, don't say anything. Don't like the Instagram post that they put out there. When Clay does what Clay does, I don't want anybody. Because they started that last year. They played for 40. Came back for 40 again. Don't. Clay, you hear him. And that's why you cussed at the reporter a few weeks ago. They're asking that crazy stuff. Don't play with them. Clay going to be right back.
I'm definitely selling Clay stock.
Continue to sell.
It can go.
Clay heard everybody.
It can go.
Continue to sell. Because I'm going to take it all. Because I'm going to take it all. And we're to the moon. Don't you worry.
Clay might see 30 against like Charlotte or something this year. Cool.
That's all right. Clay, I believe Clay's had some good shooting in November.
It's all.
You know what I'm saying? So
he's picking it back up. I can't deny.
Don't even worry about it. Man.
Okay.
You got any final words before we roll up out of here, my dog?
Lakers. I need this same energy. This playing energy. I need this all season long. Don't do it for some $500,000 bonus for you guys. Do it for us. Do it for the real Laker fans, the Laker nation that believes in you and needs you to succeed. I love it. Keep it up.
I don't know if y'all big college basketball fans, please. I'm not even watching the men's game, women's game. Juju Watkins, USC. I'm telling you now, that is the best draw in college basketball. I know Caitlin Clark. Just take a break. Watch the new freshman, child, top 10 in the top 5 in the country scoring. Juju Watkins, USC. You heard it here. Check her one-on-one. She's 5. She's like that. WNBA. Y'all better make something happen quick and bring her along. She's the good.
What's that? 4 out of 6 30 balls or something like that?
Make it 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7 30 balls.
30 balls to start the
Yikes.
season. Slim is not playing no games, man. Hey, man, we out of here, man. We're going to holler at y'all, man. We'll check out one-on-one, dog. We out.